Megan Creighton and Rachel Pearson, the high school teammates, anchoring the backcourt, the sharpshooters, and then Fiona Flanagan, the senior, and really the leader on this team.
Yeah, Drexel Dragons, last year's WNIT champions, but they lost a lot as well. So this is somewhat of a rebuilding year when you lose Holly Mershon and Wooten. I mean, that's a lot to make up for.
And the Dragons led by, as we mentioned her earlier, Denise Dillon. Such a good coach for this Drexel team. Her 11th season in Philadelphia. She received a multi-year contract extension through the 2020 season this summer. And she has twice been named the CAA Coach of the Year. This is really a toss-up game. Anybody could win this. The teams met twice during the regular season. Hofstra won both games, but both came down to the final seconds.
Yeah, both games won by Hofstra by 2 points, by 1 basket, so they were evenly matched. But the thing about Drexel is if their shot is on, their shooting is on, they play a lot of a 5-out or a 4-out, 1-in, with Abby Reddick kind of deciding who the ball is going to go back out to. But if they're hitting their shots, they are tough to beat.
And there is Kilburn Stavetsky, who also received a contract extension in October, her 8th season on Long Island. 17 wins per year since arriving at Hofstra from Kenny Brooks' staff at JMU. Winner of this one gets James Madison in tomorrow's first semifinal. Quarterfinal number 2. The 4-5 game is underway for the Showplace Arena as Drexel wins the tap.
One thing you'll see from Drexel is a lot of movement without the basketball. They love to run players off screens, and Hofstra in a man-to-man will get run off of a lot of screens.
So unselfish. Everybody's going to get a touch. Pearson to Theroff backdoor. And a wide toss for Reddick. A little miscommunication there as Theroff thought Reddick was staying put. Abby was headed towards the corner.
Obviously not the way you want to start off the game, but you got a little glimpse there of that movement, and sometimes they can make teams look silly out there on offense.
Meanwhile, this Hofstra team, kind of the changing of the guard offensively. They lost Andriana Thomas in January. She's not played the last 2 months of the season. Luciano taking over the point guard duties. A straightaway triple wouldn't go. But good hustle there to chase down the offensive rebound by Ed Efaroka.
And one thing you'll see from Drexel in this, it almost looks like a 1-3 zone. It's a 2-3, is they do not want to allow it into that high post area. So they're going to collapse on that high post because they don't want to allow that high-low or opposite pass.
Anyuku got pinned on the baseline. Found Asia Jackson, who had her pass tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Hofstra. It's a 2-3 zone, but with man-to-man principles. It's very tricky to try to go against.
It is absolutely very tricky to go against because they rotate so well, but the points you want to hit that short corner, that mid-post, and the high post area, because that's where your decisions can be made and you make those defensive players commit.
Alexis Carter missed the rim, and then Ed Efaroka making contact with the ball on the baseline. That'll give it back to Drexel as neither team finding a rhythm on their initial offensive possession.
Little bit of a sloppy start, but you'll see Hofstra does this to a lot of teams. They like to take time off the shot clock. It's a little bit of a soft step back, 3/4 court press, but they want to make you earn getting into your half court set.
Theroff getting a touch inside, trying to post up on Luciano. Help came, but Theroff doesn't care. Over the top for 2.
Ed Efaroka in good position there, helping out exactly the way she needed to, but Theroff just too strong with the left hand.
With a baby hook. It's Drexel on the board first. The ball movement here from Hofstra in the early going. Every once in a while, they'll get a little stagnant on the offensive side. Asia Jackson also has become a primary ball handler, and she's called for the walk. It'll go back to Drexel.
And when you see Hofstra clicking on all cylinders, it's when they're moving the basketball well. It's when they're penetrating and kicking. But sometimes they get into a habit of they're just trying to take their player one-on-one, and that's when they get a little bit undisciplined within their offense.
Called the walk before that pass inside to Ed Efaroka. That was a quick whistle. Not much movement of the feet. Flanagan can shoot, but can't hit for the outside. Good offensive rebound by Reddick. She uses her body so well to get position.
She's kind of, it's almost like a wheel. Like she's the center of the wheel. They have the 4-out, 1-in, and then she does the dirty work inside.
And 3 for Creighton on the outside. It's 5-0 Drexel, freed up on a great screen by Reddick.
And by playing that 4-out, 1-in, once it's passed in, everybody looks. So if you just turn your head for 1 split second, a Drexel player is moving without the basketball, and then they can get their shots off so quickly.
Luciano out to Jackson for 3. Can't hit. Theroff the rebound for Drexel.
Much better set, though, there for Hofstra because they kicked it out and made Drexel come inside.
Reddick got the defender in the air again, but this time dragged the pivot foot, and that'll give it back to Hofstra. Once too many times to the well on the head fake.
A little bit. And Abby Reddick, as you mentioned, the sister of Duke star, former star J.J. Reddick, she had a triple-double earlier in this season, and pretty impressive. The first one ever in Drexel history.
Carter got clogged up in the lane. Loose ball ends up in Jackson's hands. No spacing as Eda Faroko will go to work and slams one off the window. Creighton doing a good job from her guard position, getting involved, rebounding-wise. Drexel needs to rebound as a team.
And Drexel wants to get going. They want to move quickly, where Drexel is very happy sitting in their offense and running off screens.
Reddick 12 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists, which was a career high in that triple-double effort against William & Mary. And a bucket inside. Theroff doing work again for the Dragons, picking up right where she has left off in the second half of this season. Inserted into the starting lineup when Sarah Curran hurt her ankle a few weeks ago. Theroff double figures in 6 straight games, and just incredible amount of confidence right now on the offensive end.
Yeah, and if you're Hofstra, you want, and she has her back to you, Theroff has her back to you, you want to play her on her right shoulder because she's turning left and she wants to take it with her left hand. So they want to kind of put some pressure on that high right shoulder because she's done it twice. She did it in the middle and she did it on the right side 2 possessions ago.
Hard to imagine a much better start for Drexel, up 8 less than 4 minutes in. And maybe more importantly, pitching a shutout on the defensive side. Luciano, errant pass. He'll give it back to Drexel. Have to be careful if you're the freshman. A couple of mistakes can snowball on this big a stage.
And that's what, you know, she's come in, again, another freshman starting in this league, and that's a lot for a freshman point guard. There's so much to deal with, to know the plays, to create. And she comes in, and when she has those games where her assist-to-turnover ratio is high, Drexel seems to win those games. A lot of times this team will go how she goes.
Abby Reddick getting quick attention over on the sideline for the training staff. Seems okay. We play on. Pearson, who can shoot, but will pick her spots. The Theroff, who's been hot early. Reddick from deep at 2 range, can't hit. Theroff the offensive board, and that's what Drexel does. They spread you out and then attack on those long rebounds.
And Abby Reddick, much improved on her shooting this year than last year. But again, when Drexel is clicking on all cylinders, it is so beautiful to watch because they play basketball the way it's supposed to be played.
Reddick, deep 2, wouldn't go again. And here comes Hofstra the other direction. Annie Payton on the run. Fadeaway Jay was short. Great offensive board, but Onyuku couldn't hit the bunny. And then a foul called against the Pride. So Drexel pitching a shutout almost 5 minutes in. The Dragons leading Hofstra by a score of 8-0. Back here at the Showplace Arena up in Marlboro, Maryland. 15:06 left to go in the opening half. Drexel 8, Hofstra nothing. Christine coming in. We thought this Drexel team would be able to have success on the defensive end. That's kind of been their bread and butter. What were some of the other things you were looking for this Dragons team in order for them to be successful today?
Well, I think one of the biggest things for them is to stop penetration. Hofstra wants to get to the basket and they want to get out and penetrate that zone. And if they could stop the ball penetration in the half court, but then also stop the ball in transition, they'll be in good shape. And then on the offensive end, they want to draw fouls. They want to run them off screens, get to the free throw line, and get some free points.
We'll get to Hofstra's keys at the next dead ball. Right now, the Pride's biggest key is to find a way to get on the board. They trail 8-0 more than 5 minutes into this game. Creighton operating for Drexel here and blowing right past the defense, finishing with the layup. 10-zip Dragons.
Just a complete miscommunication there on Hofstra. Their heads were turned, and Eda Faroka unable to come back in time to rotate to stop Creighton.
And Creighton is deceptively quick, and that's the one thing you hear from every coaching staff that faces her. Hofstra looking for its first bucket. Big 3 for Alexis Carter to stem the tide a bit. Pride on the board.
Yeah, and that was just a chance for Drexel to close out and just could not get out in time.
Flanagan avoiding the trap, finding Theroff in the front court. And now Drexel goes into their patient half-court look.
You'll see these different sets that Drexel has, but it's constant motion in and out. Sometimes it almost looks like a 1-4 flat, then sometimes it looks like a 4 out, 1 in, but just constant movement.
Creighton got the 3 as the shot clock wound down. Big triple. She has come out on fire. Megan Creighton with 8 early points.
She only averages 8, but she's got 8 in what seems 5 seconds here in this game. Super hot start for Creighton.
Tried to take a charge as Peyton blew through her, but couldn't finish in tight, and Pearson the rebound.
Drexel wants to, they'll run if they have it, but they're not a transition team. They're not going to push to run. They would rather get into their set, and why wouldn't you? Because right now, working out very well.
Pearson for 3. She's got it. It's raining threes. A 13-point Drexel edge early. Timeout Hofstra.
Again, they can get their shots off so quickly, but it's all set up by the movement without the basketball, the way they run off screens, the way they move when they do not have the basketball, and that's something that's buying into Denise Dillon's system, because sometimes when they don't get the ball, they just kind of stand around, but not Drexel, and you see one after another. Rachel Pearson there getting her shot off quickly. Hofstra has to get out. You got to get a hand up. You got to give an arm's length away and get up.
Let's look at the keys for Hofstra. Right now, they're going to make up a 13-point deficit, but how do they have success today?
Yeah, we talked about it. Guard against those screens. Are you going to go over the top? Are you going to trail? Are you going to go third man? You need to know that scouting report. You cannot allow Drexel to get offensive rebounds and give them extra possessions and second and third opportunities. And then you have to protect the basketball if you're Hofstra. You have to stay under control and limit your turnovers.
Well, the Pride down 13. Body blow early. See how they respond with this young group. A turnover. It's taken away by Creighton, who's been incredible early. In the open floor. What a feed on the inside. Carrie Alexander, the left-hand finish.
Fantastic pass, threading the kneel. And Thompson almost kind of backed up. Did you see that? She almost used her back as a screen and allowed that alleyway to get the bounce pass.
Pride in desperate need of a bucket. They go inside to Ed Efaroka. Nice drop step move to lay it home. Just
so easy for Ed Efaroka there to just turn, use her left hand and kind of spin and seal.
So a 13-point Drexel edge. Couple of subs in for the Dragons. Mentioned already Alexander, who scored Jamila Thompson into the contest as well. Flanagan hoist. Can't hit. And Efaroka the rebound for Hofstra.
And there it seemed a little early in the possession for Drexel. They had nobody in position to rebound.
3 of 5 now, the Dragons from deep. Here's a 3 for Hofstra. Alexis Carter brings it back to a 10-point game.
And, you know, that's one of the things about Hofstra. They can get down by a bunch, but, man, they can come back. They've shown this year many games where they've been down double digits and they've closed in the closing moments of the game.
They're a spurty team. They will look bad for a couple minutes, and then they will look incredible, the mark of a young team.
And another team that has a lot of freedom. You know, Krista Coburn-Sylvesky, she gives her team freedom. They play very loose. Big
block shot there by Ed Efaroka as Thompson tried to back her down to the post.
What a fun battle that's going to be to watch here this afternoon.
A good decision here by Hofstra to back it out, although Ed Efaroka flashed free, but then had it knocked away by Thero.
That is exactly how you guard. When you're being ridden high as a defender and she's riding Thero high, see how she went from behind and then three-quartered her? That's perfect defense.
Execution at a high level right now for Drexel. Alexander, who can operate off the dribble, spins her way, but too strong off the glass, and Ed Efaroka, another rebound. 4 in the early going for her, all the way to the basket. Jackson is fouled. Big collision under the tin, and she'll head to the stripe to shoot a pair when we come back. Early start for the Dragons. They lead the 5th-seeded Hofstra Pride by 10. 9 minutes into this quarterfinal number 2 from the CAA Women's Basketball Championship.